The month ago, we had an opportunity to close it out, and we just couldn't do it. And it's a shame because we did some things that were pretty good, especially in the passing game. I thought that was pretty good for us. But here again, when you get in the red zone, you turn the ball over. And the fouls, I think the fouls were really a big thing for me. We were very sloppy, and that's not a good football team when you have that many fouls. It stopped drives, it prevented big plays, and then the turnovers. The turnovers were big. Down in the red zone, we were only 2 for 4. And so, when you play a team like this that was averaging about 34 points a game, feeling like going into the fourth quarter, we had slowed that offense down somewhat. The quarterback hurt us in the first half with his legs, and they had a couple runs. The passing game, we felt like we had that pretty much in control. But the second half for us, I told the guys at halftime, we were going to have to be more explosive in the passing game. If we want to be able to run the ball, we're going to have to make some plays in the passing game. So they have to play some softer coverages where we can hit some seams and hit some balls, and we were able to do that, but just fell a little bit short.
All right, we'll go ahead and open up to questions. Please use your raised hand tool if you guys have a question. Christian Babcock, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Coach. The ineligible downfield penalties, obviously at key times, really hurt you. What were you seeing from the sideline? Why do you think those sort of kept occurring?
I don't know. I mean, guys leaving or blocking their guy and went too far, and if Jaden runs around a little bit, then all of a sudden the play gets extended and it looks like that. There were numerous of those called. What can you say? I mean, it's a foul, and they called it.
Chris Cartman.
Herm, you had good momentum going before you lost the fumble on the 1 yard line. Then you got the safety, but then you had the turnover that you mentioned on a first down as you were kind of moving. Can you just go through that sequence and what kind of things you saw there?
On the fumble?
Yeah, the fumble, and then
I don't know if Jaden pulled out too fast or not. I'm not quite sure. But it was a bobble snap right from the start. And then the interception, I think Jaden was trying to hit a seam down the middle, and don't know if the receiver adjusted or didn't adjust. I don't even think he even saw the ball. So safety made a good play, came over and made a play on the ball. So those were 2 big plays, obviously on the 1 yard line. That's big when you don't get any points there.
Michael Caratunuto.
Yeah, Coach, I mean, defensively too, I know you talked about the first half, but it just seems like all game long, you really frustrated their running game. I mean, you were able to get pressure on their quarterback, but what did you see? I guess, I know it's been a month, but a big jump from the defensive line? Because, they look pretty consistent the whole game.
They were. We came in knowing that they were going to try to run the football, and the quarterback had 2 big runs. And one was designed, and the other one he left the pocket on a pass. And the runner broke the 1 run on us. We missed some tackles over there on the left side of the defense. But then other than that, it was pretty much, we had them in position where we felt when we slowed the run down, we felt like we could match up with some of the things they were doing in the passing game, and for the most part did that. We had an opportunity to intercept the ball, and the receiver came up with it. We were in perfect position, and they ended up on that drive scoring. If we knock it down, worst case scenario, they got a punt because it was a 3rd down interception, But it's just, you got to give them credit. They made the plays. We were in position to make a few, and we did not.
Logan Newman.
Hey, Coach. How much of that offensive rustiness in the first half do you attribute to this last month without any games?
It doesn't help. And I think that contributed to the penalties more than anything else, to the fouls. I do believe that. I told him earlier when the game started, you're going to have to get into game speed mode now because the game will be real fast for you in the first quarter. And I thought that you saw that a little bit. I kind of watched it unfold, where guys weren't quite, because they had been out of a competition for about a month. And then I thought the second quarter, we built something back up. And then by the halftime, we sat down and kind of gave them a game plan of what we needed to do to get back in the game. And for the most part, we were able to get back in the game and actually take the lead. 4-26 again in the fourth quarter. That number showed up, and we had a little bit of lead, but we couldn't hold on to it.
Greg Moore. Greg, you're muted. We'll go
Sorry about that. Yep, no, I'm good. Sorry about that, guys. Coach, the tough loss. Listen, first of all, it's good to see you up and moving around and healthy. I'm so glad you're healthy after having been sick. So start there.
Thank you.
How much of COVID was on your mind during preparation time? How much did trying to physically distance yourself during a contact sport, how hard is that to prepare when you're doing?
Well, you're talking about like now when I got back?
Yeah, it's like getting ready for this game.
You know, I think when this thing first started for us, every day you come to work, you know, when players get tested and coaches get tested, you always want the thumbs up that everybody made it through. And so that's always constantly on your mind. That's just part of the environment we live in right now. And but after that, you can't worry about it. You know, you just got to press on. You're just hoping that it doesn't get you like it got us, and it got us. And we recovered from it. And for the most part, you know, I think we were rusty as a football team, and I had a sense that would happen. Not playing in a month, just the speed of the game was you know, you got to figure out the speed of the game again. And then I thought for the most part, we got into it and we were just playing football and had some chances. The turnovers and the penalties, those are the things that really get you in the end.
Nick King.
Herm, I know that obviously you guys are never going to be fine with a loss. Given the circumstances of this year and that it's your second game on December 5th or whatever it is, does that make things sting any less?
No, you know, it's kind of ironic because when we got our first loss, can you imagine that was sitting in our stomach for a month? It's even worse because you just sit there and you say, we played one, you know, you say we lost, you know, we only played one game. And it's like, you hold on to that. You want to play, you know, you want to play to get it out, get out of your system. Now, obviously it hadn't left our system yet. Now, the good part is we've got a short week and we get to play it again. And hopefully the next week we're going to play again. So we get some rhythm of playing football again. That would kind of be fun for us.
Back to Chris Cartman.
Herm, your thoughts about just what your blocking was able to do in the run game, but then also on the flip side, some of the protection issues that you guys had.
Well, blocking was I thought did an excellent job of creating some holes for us. The passing thing was this: it was their willingness to bring pressure. Going into this game, you know, they were the number one team in our conference with sacks. I believe 12, 32 quarterback hits. I want to say 9 quarterback hits or something like that. And at times, receivers and Jaden weren't timed up. Jaden had to hold the ball a little longer than he wanted to. And so, you know, that made up for some of it. And some of it was we just, we didn't pick up our blocks when they brought pressure. And they're going to bring 5-man pressure, 6-man pressure at times too, especially when they get you in long downs. You know, they feel like if you don't pick it up and you hold on to the ball, we're going to sack you. And if not, you got to get rid of the ball and they're going to tackle the guy short of the first down.
All right, we're going to go to Alex, Jeff, Christian, then Hode. Alex, go ahead.
Alex must be on mute.
Alex, go ahead if you're ready. All right, we'll hop over to Jeff. Jeff, go ahead.
Herm, can you just talk about what Taylor did for you in the kick return game and also where things stand now as far as the field goal kicker?
Well, 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 you make it hard, don't you? Well, DJ did a marvelous job. He is. I don't think Slocum knows it yet, but he's our kick returner. Another little freshman guy went out there, and I tell you what, he showed off. You know what? I don't know if you guys ever interviewed this young man. You ought to do it one day. This is interviewing, and just see the delight he has and his personality. It's just it's radiant. He's always smiling. I looked at him. I said, "Now you're gonna return kicks, right?" And he's just smiling. "Yeah, coach." I said, "This is like your first time doing this." And he goes, "Yeah, coach." He said, "I'm gonna run one back for you." And I tell you what, if they didn't get him there on that one, he might have ran one back. I mean, he is a special guy with the ball in his hand, and so that was fun to watch. And Luckhurst comes in and obviously makes 2 kicks for us, and he's been the guy, that's been kicking the ball, never getting an opportunity, and he kicked a long one too. That was good to see. He has a leg. You can't argue with his leg strength. Now, sometimes it doesn't always go through the pipes, but in a pressure moment when we needed points, he put some points on the board for us and gave us a little momentum, and then he came back and then made another big one.
Christian, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, obviously in the first half, you're talking about rust. So when do you think you guys sort of settled into the game? And in the second half, the offensive success, do you owe that more to settling in, or was it more changes in the game plan?
Well, I think our ability to hit some passes. And I visited with the players at halftime. I told them, I said, look, they're man-to-man coverage. They don't want us to run the ball. And I said, you can loosen that up if you make some plays in the passing game. So we got to throw the ball a little bit. We got to catch it now. And if we do that, we will be able to run the football. And that kind of took place. So I thought Jaden getting in comfort with some of these receivers, catching the ball, I thought was good. And it wasn't Frank, it was Porter, it was Johnny, it was LV, guys catching the ball. It was kind of fun to watch some of these young guys. We get one call back for a touchdown, right? That's a shame, but they called it, so that's what it is.
Alex, we'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how did you feel you guys held up physically as the game went on with the month off?
I thought they did pretty good. I thought their stamina kicked in about the third quarter. When we came out of halftime, I thought we had a surge of energy, and that was good to see, because that's always something you're a little bit concerned about. Being a month off from not playing. This is like our first game again, to be quite honest. I mean, we hadn't played in such a long time, and I thought for the most part, third quarter, we adjusted offensively and defensively, and held a team that's been scoring pretty good. They've been averaging about 34 points a game, and at the end there, I mean, it's a close game, and they got the ball down there at the end. I had, you got options. What do you do? And the time is leaving off the clock. I said, I got timeouts. I said, but it doesn't matter. I said, if he's just gonna mess around and hold the ball as long as he can, I said, you gotta let him score, and then keep the timeouts in the pocket and try to go down there and score and see what happens. And it just didn't work out. We got stalled out a little bit after we crossed the 40, and the big sacks got us. And so, that's kind of how the game ended for us.
Last question to Hode. Go ahead.
Herm, in all your years of coaching, I'm sure you've seen a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, but how many games have you lost when the opponent only scored 8 points in the second half? Granted, late in the fourth quarter, but only 8 points in the second half.
Yeah, not many. You generally feel like you got a chance to win, and the last 2 games haven't been a lot of fun. We had opportunities and we just didn't do it. But I'm proud of the kids' effort. I really am, to be off that long, and our coaching staff, everybody holding this thing together. It's been quite a journey thus far for us, and I just appreciate the effort of everyone involved in this.
Thanks, Coach, for your time. Appreciate it.
Guys, appreciate you. Stay safe.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Herm.
All right.